Okay, there we go.
Hey,
Hey, hey, Megan, how you doing?
Rick. Thank you for not disconnecting that time.
I know
Oh
I'm
gosh. All
technology,
right. It's the first week of fall, and it does feel
It
like
is
fall in the air.
finally.
And we've got some numbers, so we're going to kind of give a
Hmm.
fall snapshot of the market. Okay, what we think is going to happen,
Hmm.
what's predicted to happen, and what you should do about it. And
Okay.
as always, if the house is right for you and you can afford it and it fits your needs, just buy it. That's
Yeah.
always the advice that we have for you because you do not know when the next opportunity will be.
Hmm.
All right. So that being said, I forwarded you an email this morning from the California Association of Realtors, and
Hmm.
that's not to be confused with a realtor. It's called Realtor. There's
There's
two syllables.
there's no I in
Uh,
realtor.
yep, exactly. And and so the prediction from the California Association of Realtors, they
Hmm.
do a lot of economic studies and that sort of thing, is that inventory, that means the amount of houses that will be for sale next year, will increase by 22% over this year,
Hmm.
which is kind of a crazy number. And I'll tell you what the number is. So this year, we're only at it'll end, they predict, around 266,000 houses, which is nothing because in 2022 there were 342,000 houses that sold. So that's quite a difference. So they predict in um 2024 that we will have 327,000 units. Now, do I believe in predictions anymore? I don't.
Mm,
I don't. Nobody even knows exactly why this year has been how it is, but we can
right.
make generalizations. We can kind of come to our
Hmm.
own conclusions about things. And we especially don't know what in the hell is going on with the mortgage market. I know it's been a wild and crazy week, and I'm so grateful that you locked in some of our new escrows last week because they
Hmm.
got, really good rates relative to what it is today.
Hmm.
So, as far as predictions go, I'll wrap this up with the California Association of Realtors says that um, interest rates will go down next year. So they say interest rates will go down and volume will go up. There'll be lots of
Hmm.
homes to choose from, but I don't, like you always say, hope is not a strategy. So we're gonna take that with a grain of salt. So tell me what's been happening with you this week and the mortgage market.
Well, to your point, you're absolutely right about predictions. I've kind of given up on that, at
Mm,
least for the short term. I mean, long term, we know certain things will happen, but I got to tell you, the analysts, some very high paid analysts, by the way, have missed this market for almost 2 years in a row in terms
mm-hmm,
of the direction of the economy and direction of interest rates. Um, they missed it by a wide margin.
mm-hmm,
If you look at even the predictions from last year, as rates went up, the rates went up last year, and the predictions were that this year we'd start to see the rates go down, less volatility this year, and that rates would go down through the summer and then through the fall. Well, quite the opposite's happened. We're going up. Rates have been going up. They've been going up. Pressure on rates pretty much all year,
mm-hmm,
and there's no end in sight, at least on the short term. And so, what I mean
mm-hmm.
by that is if you look at the volatility, we've had the last 10 days, again, extreme volatility in the mortgage markets. And when I say volatility, I mean rates are moving up, not down. And so it's hard to predict. And so back to your point earlier is that when you find a home and it works and it makes sense, buy the darn house.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
it's to try to time the market, it's a game you're just not going to win.
Right.
It's like trying to time the stock market. And history has proven that for buyers in the stock market who try to time that, they don't it does not work out well for them. And
Right.
so the
And
and so
and
the
like you
same
were
thing in real estate.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier
Hmm.
that the mortgage market is just very, very vulnerable right now
Hmm.
for no apparent reason, really. It's just no news came out and you lost basis points. No news
Mhm,
comes out the next day, you lost more basis point. It's just like
mhm,
things are like, what is going on? I don't know. But last week you said rates were somewhere around the 6.5, 6 3/4 range, and now today
mhm.
they're about 7 3/4.
They're well into the mid sevens now, correct. And
Yeah.
then that's just on a
Yeah.
1 week period.
No. Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of volatility there. Now, look, we know this is that nothing moves in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
This too shall pass at some time. At some point, the rates will go down. And I honestly, I wish Megan, I could tell you when that will be. However, I do really believe at some point through 2024, we're going to see some of those rates dropping as Carr predicted. We talked about that a minute ago. And that will trigger more home selling and more activity in the market. But until then, back to your statement in the very beginning here, is that if you find a house you like and it works, buy the house. Don't
Right,
try to time
exactly.
this because you know what's going to happen next year. If that prediction is true, you and I both been down this path before. If that prediction is true, if rates go down and there's more houses in the market, what's going to happen? There's going to be a lot more buyers with a lot more affordability. We'll be back to 20 offers in every house again.
Bingo.
So it's not going to
Yeah.
make it better. It's going to be so the pressure, I think, and I think you'll agree with me on this. The pressure on the price of homes is still going to remain,
Mm-hmm.
and that means prices of homes are going up, not down, and they're going to go up again next year.
Yeah, this report, this California
Hmm.
Association of Realtors report says that they predict that prices will go up 6.2%.
Okay, that's a good number.
Yeah, that's a number. So,
Hmm.
it's hard with all of this volatility. We always give people the same advice that if you find it and it works for you and you can afford it, just buy it. Don't
Hmm.
try to time it. But also, you know, people have, and it's not like a one-stop shop, but you have to understand when you go to see a listing, you have to understand where that listing is at,
Hmm.
um, in order to strategize what kind of offer to make, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, for example, if the house just went on the market, because I just went through this exercise with somebody this morning, and it was on a townhouse, and the
Hmm.
townhouse was, a townhouse does not have a neighbor above or below.
Hmm.
Townhouse is 2 stories. So it's
Hmm.
a townhouse in Garden Grove with a 2-car garage that's within its boundaries. So there's a townhouse, a backyard, and then a garage. I mean, perfect, right?
Hmm.
And it's kind of by the resort area in Anaheim, and it was priced at 570.
Wow.
And it's a kind of a small complex. There's like 50 units in the complex. So you have to kind of go back pretty far to come up with some comps uh that are even there's been like 3 sales a year in there the last couple of years. And so my client was hoping to um have an offer ready sort of within line of looking at those past comps over the last few years. And that's one approach, but the most effective approach is to really understand that how many people are looking at a townhouse under 600,000 in Orange County with a yard and a 2-car garage.
Hmm.
A ton. And you have
A
to look
lot.
and see what else is on the market. Did you go to the open house? Were there a ton of people in the open house? I mean, no sooner did we have her and I have this conversation this morning that the agent put the listing on hold because they had so many offers, right?
Mm.
So you a Newport post or anything. But
Hmm.
for properties that are about the 900,000 million price
Hmm.
range, that they still have to be marketed correctly in order to sell with high demand. So that townhouse, you could have like 4 pictures from your car window as a realtor with your rear view mirror, and people are going to still come and see it. But
Mhm.
if you have a house in the higher end of things and it's not marketed correctly, and if it's overpriced, you might not get any offers. So a buyer might have room to negotiate there a little bit, but every single situation needs to be observed, discussed, and your buyer's agent needs to talk to the listing agent, find out what's going on, this kind of thing, in order to really get a nice, winning offer in there and get it accepted. But
For sure.
even though the market's hot, there's still different strategies with different
Mhm.
price ranges, different amount of demand as well.
Right.
So our
Well
advice
said.
is, if you see it, you like it, you can. Did you hear me?
There
I
we go.
have
You're back.
my on do not disturb, but it keeps to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you see it, you like it, you can afford it, buy it. If you find something you like, take a good, smart look at it and see what the situation is. Is it in the lower price range? Is it in the higher price range? Have you been looking for months and months and this is the first time you've seen something like this? Well, guess what? So have 50 other people too.
Mhm. Right.
And have your realtor talk to the seller, find out what the story is, make sure you come at it with the best offer that you can, considering what circumstances there are.
Solid advice.
Yeah, that's my advice for today, Rick. And we've got a couple in escrow that are buyers, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
Just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit, just a wee bit.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
All right, well, hang in
Awesome.
there. Don't jump out of your office window with the rates there. And you're doing a great job. Thanks for locking those guys last week. I'm sure they're going to
Oh
be
boy.
thrilled with that.
Yeah.
And I will talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Megan. Take care.
Thank
See ya.
you. Bye.
Bye.